What's up, guys? This is Line of Thought.
Good morning.
Morning.
El Chino. All right, check this out, guys. Minnesota. Well, Minneapolis. Cop gunned down black citizen that sparked another outrage from the city's black community. Should America eliminate no-knock warrants? And is Amir Locke's death justified? So apparently, this happened, I guess, a couple of months ago. I honestly don't really know much about it. We're hearing a lot of stuff going on in Minnesota. It's been crazy, with the whole what's the guy's name? The black guy that got choked to death. I always forget his name. Oh my goodness! Come on now, I'm a brother. I should know this.
You should know this, really.
I know, man. I'm
You
sorry. It's
know
so
this.
much. Okay, and then you got the guy, the little white teenager guy that, shot some people, whatever. I guess.
Yeah, he shot white people. Let's make that clear. He did not shoot black people. He shot mostly white guys.
Yeah,
mostly white guys.
But my point, there's a lot of stuff going on in Minnesota, when it comes
Seems
to
like it.
guns and stuff. It seems like a lot of racism going on over there, man. What's going on over there? What one of y'all got to say about that?
Well, my first thought is that no-knock warrants definitely have their place. Unfortunately, sometimes they get the warrant wrong and they go to the right house, but the guy they're trying to get isn't there. And then somebody who is there, who shouldn't even have a gun, really, responds to the police invasion. Well, that's what we'll call it. It's an invasion. And, it's a touchy subject because they do work, but I did look up some statistics on it, and in general, the no-knock warrants statistically are not really as effective as they should be.
I figured that.
I think it's somewhere in the 20 to 25% range, which is pretty low. I mean, that's pretty low.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it doesn't always work. It just means it doesn't work as effectively as it should.
From what I know, the no knock is actually, I actually took a class on it. It's called the knock and talk. It's basically a warrantless check. It's knock and talk. Knock on the door. Yo, what's up? Knock and talk. But it's often, I guess, the resident misconstrued it as, hey, where's the warrant? No, it's just we're talking. We heard noises, we heard complaint, and we just want to talk. So it get escalated in a way that it shouldn't. So it's how it says it should be eliminated. I'm like, it's like saying the Girl Scout cookie should not be, or Girl Scouts should not knock at your door. How's that should be eliminated? It's the same thing. They're trying to investigate something in the neighborhood. Hey, did you see a bunch of kids in a hoodie? Did you see somebody with a catalytic converter? Oh yeah, I did. It was a red truck. Boom, it matched.
So I hear what you're saying, but a no-knock warrant is actually a warrant. So a warrant has been issued. So they have the right. So they go there. They're supposed to pound on the door, yell, police, 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 and yell again. And there's videos running, and they yell, police, police, police. But that doesn't mean that the people inside necessarily hear or respond to all of that, because it's generally at like 2 or 3 in the morning, right? So I guarantee you, if police came knocking on my door, they're like, police, 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 I'm knocking on the door. How do I know that's really police and not just people coming in to rob me, right? Especially if I'm in the hood. Exactly. I mean, I don't know, because that seems like a pretty good way to cover up my true intentions if I was not the police. So I see the I see the complication in the problem from what people are saying on the street as to how that is so complicated. What do you think,
I
Willie?
mean, if you have a warrant, you have the right to go in. Doesn't matter. Like, I should make an announcement, but if there's a warrant, that means a judge has said, "Hey, you can go in." But the knocking, I mean, there's pros and cons, because if you're doing a search warrant, that means there's intention in there. There's something there they need to look, they need to grab before it get flushed down or it get tossed.
Well, yeah.
Piggybacking. But how many times do police get warrants from, compromised judges? And I mean, I know that all exists, so it's not like it's not complicated for the police to get a warrant based on just their suspicion more than actual proof, especially when it comes to, low-income people.
I mean, mistake does happen, and that's kind of part of work. It's not going to be 100%.
Yeah, I'm not really 100% with no-knock warrants. And then, let's be honest, their mentality is shoot first, ask questions later. You're in someone's private property.
I don't think it's necessarily shoot first, ask questions later. But honestly, if you're on the police side of the thing, right, and you're going in on a no-knock warrant and you barge in the door and someone has a gun, you're shooting. I mean, that's your life, right? That's your life. And at that point,
you're walking into a situation.
Yeah, you don't know.
A very violent possible situation, because this person could have a gun, because
that could be the guy you're looking for. And if they pull out a gun, I'm not shooting first and asking questions later. I'm coming in because I expect that confrontation, right? So
yeah, I mean, you're pretty much walking into a possible war zone. You don't know what you're walking yourself into,
right?
And then it's complicated, or whatever. And then Amir Lotz, I don't think his situation was justified. Those cops, they didn't get charged, apparently. I don't think they thoroughly did anything right, or did what they needed to do correctly.
The problem is, at the end of the day, Amir should not have had a gun.
Should not have had a gun. I mean, because it wasn't. We can get into that.
He didn't. He wasn't legally. He wasn't legally allowed to have that gun, and that's why there were no charges leveled. And whether you like the law in and of itself with the no-knock warrant, if somebody has a gun and they're not supposed to and they get shot, that's kind of on them.
So who do you blame? Blame the guy or the gun? It's like,
I never blame the gun. The gun.
I'm blaming the no-knock warrant first. They need to get rid of that shit, or they need to make some changes or something, because it's just pretty much people. It's just the cops are allowed to invade your property, invade your space.
But there's generally a reason. It's not that. So there was a suspect who should have been in that apartment. He just wasn't there at that time, and the wrong guy was there with a gun. That's not all on the cops, right? So there was some precedent.
I'm looking at their intentions, man. What are their true intentions?
To get the bad guy.
Listen, man. We know. When that gets addressed, man, and when that gets clear, things will be better, man. What people's intentions, racism. Let's just stop playing these games, man. And then also, we just got to make these communities better, man. When you treat people like absolute dog shit, when you raise them, what the hell do you expect? You expect people are struggling. People aren't getting properly educated, and all kinds of stuff going on, man, in those kind of neighborhoods. Those people, they don't know any better. So that's how I look at that, bro. All right.
Oh, okay. I know it's not on our list, but I have to address what you said real quick.
Okay.
The only reason they're not properly educated is because they chose not to be properly educated. In the United States, you always have a choice to be properly educated. If you choose not to finish your high school, that's on you, man, every time. I don't care race, creed, color, none of it. If you don't choose to finish high school in the United States, that is your choice. There's no argument against that.
First, you got to have the ability to get educated. Some people don't have the mental tools or mental.
I'm not talking about mental. I'm talking about physical possibility. They everybody does.
I agree with Whitaker, man. You got education. Education is free. United States is one of those countries.
All you gotta do is show up.
If you look for education, you can get education. You can go online. You can get student loan. If you want to learn, you can get it.
Again, are they getting education? Do these teachers even care? You know, these same people, these teachers come from different communities, and they teach.
Oh yeah, their teachers don't care. There are always the bad apples.
I agree with that 100%.
You go where you want to learn. I go to online school.
No, you can't.
So I don't have to deal with teachers. It's a pass or fail.
I've heard stories about a woman.
That's another whole topic. Should we dissolve school zones and make open school everywhere? But that's a topic for another day. Let's get on to our next topic.
Well, that kid be invited to that school. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to see no damn black kid at their damn schools in a lot of areas. You know, so it's a lot of shit.
Yeah, I totally disagree with that, but it's all right. Okay, let's get on to the next topic.
Next topic.
High school in the United States is free. Show up, apply yourself, you will succeed.
Yeah, you just jump into stuff or whatever, and we're not getting to the details of what's really going on. All right.
Should be
all right, check this out.
Yeah.
So New Jersey has passed a law allowing off-duty officers to purchase and consume pot once it becomes legalized. Is that a good idea?
It all falls on the end of the person. Alcohol is legal. I mean, if you show up drunk, that's on you. If you show up high, that's on you. Medical marijuana, there is benefits, pros and cons. And also I didn't look at the detail. To be honest, I didn't look at detail. What kind? Are you saying CBD, THC? What kind of pot? Smoking, smokeless?
All of it. It's all going to be legalized.
If it's all legal, it's the same as alcohol. Can you drink wine? Can you drink IPA? Can you drink White Lightning, brandy, whiskey, tequila, cognac, sake? It applies too, man. If they want to do edible right before work, that's on you.
You're going to be screwed if you do that. Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
The problem is, and this has always been the problem with marijuana products, right, is that it stays in your system for 5 to 7 days. Yeah, I mean, regardless of how much you consume. Whereas alcohol, one shot, 1 hour, right? That's the basic consumable, it's out of your system. And so, I mean, I'm not a big proponent for marijuana products. I really don't care, to be honest with you. I think people should be able to choose whatever vice they want, right? Whether it's alcohol or pot. I'm not really too concerned about that. My concern is more about how do you test for such things, right? Because that's where it's a challenge.
That's my thing. How can you test it? And if there's a way you can test it like alcohol, you do like a quick little. I think if they can figure out a way to do that, I think that'll be essential because
they'll figure a way out, man.
Don't nobody want no high ass employees. If I had a company going or whatever, I'm a supervisor of law enforcement or whatever. I don't want no high ass cops. No, man. If you high, you need to go back home. So, yeah, if there's a way to take it stays in your system, but are you high at the moment? And if you are,
but see, there's no realistic way. There's no realistic way to test for that when it comes to the marijuana products, right? So, and you know what's going to happen I mean, statistically, black people smoke more pot than white people. I think so. I could be wrong on that, but I think
don't know
that's
about
the truth.
that.
I think just as much now. To be honest, like it's just as much. It's I mean,
But
if
at
you
the
look
end
at
of the
drugs,
day, they're
everybody
going to
across
use
the board
this.
just does it. Race, I mean, marijuana, blacks and white, I think it's up there, man. It's like saying who does more crack, whites or the black.
Who I really don't know. But at the end of the day, my thing is they're going to use this as some kind of a racial thing. I think that's where that will end up going. But again, my position is that if you can't test for it accurately, it's not a fair thing to say, hey, we're going to make it legal. And then everybody who wants to do it can do it. Except that if you test positive, you will be fired. That I just think that's a wrong position to take.
Yeah. So
I mean, I'm gonna say, man, it's the same as alcohol, man. You use it, you make sure it's out of your system before you go to work. It's up to you, man. If you know you're gonna show up or it's in your system, like I mean, I personally did not take a trip to Machu Picchu. I want to go Machu Picchu. I want to climb that freaking mountain, but you get elevation sickness. How do you combat elevation sickness? You chew on coca leaf. What's gonna pop up in my system?
And then you test up positive for cocaine.
Yes, exactly. See, that is just. I didn't think about that, but before I went on the trip, like I had it, like I'm thinking, wait a second. No. I'm gonna test positive. You know what? I'm gonna change my trip up. That's just self-education. It's knowing what, like, same thing like an athlete. If you're going to consume it, you should know it. But, and also, once again, now your job is depend on it. You should know what's in your system.
So do you think then, Chino, that it's possible that they're only making it legal for police officers to consume it?
There will be. There'll be a
political.
Is it
just a political statement to say, oh, we're so liberal, we think officers should be able to have it, even though they know officers can't partake because they'd have to take a week off of work?
There's gonna be product. It's like workout, bodybuilding, touch free, blah blah blah. Like competition use only. Like they know it's the same as baseball. Look at Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa. Look at Barry Bonds.
You mean the odds of getting tested are so low that they'll take the risk?
Yeah, some will. And you know, same thing. You've been around guys. Ray, you've been around guys. Like, regardless whatever rule is, they're still going to break it. They're going to have it in their system. Well, we know that. We know there are guys who's like, holy shit, how do you survive work? How do you operate? We know guys like that. But at the same time if it becomes, there are guys that can handle it. There's guys that can't handle it. We're not, I mean, we're going to let the cat out of the bag, but we know there are guys that can handle it. There are guys can't handle it. It's the same.
Yeah, if you can't handle it, you don't need to be consuming it. If you can't perform at your job properly, man, you're not enough. No, you don't need to be taking it before you go to work, period.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Did we hit the razor blade yet?
Not yet. Yeah, so let's get the other one going. So check this out. Elon Musk, we don't know that guy, wants to buy for social media free speech pertaining to politics. What's up, guys?
Yeah, well, so that was completely choppy. So I'll break it down. The quick answer was that Elon Musk is trying to take over Twitter. And if those of you who don't know, he is extremely libertarian, which is different than liberal or conservative. They have a different viewpoint on a couple of things. So his big thing is that he feels Twitter doesn't have free speech because they blocked a lot of not only conservative things, but they block some liberal things too every now and then, things that people should maybe hear about here and there. And the main one was the whole Hunter Biden laptop thing. So, a year or so ago, the Hunter laptop thing came out, and several liberalish media places blocked any mention of it, right? Because everyone said it was Russian disinformation. But then a few months ago, some somewhat liberal sources, such as the New York Times and the Washington Post, actually made posts that said that, this is actually pretty legitimate. And we have confirmed that some of this stuff is definitely real and that laptop is genuine. And so, Elon Musk, although I have no idea what his actual political aspirations are, he decided to make a bid to buy Twitter. And
well, he's a majority owner now.
He's only 9% though.
Do whatever he wants.
And so the Twitter corporate people said, you know what, we're gonna put in a poison pill, right? So if he tries to buy more than 15%, the price of Twitter shares is going to drop precipitously, right? What sucks is that investors in Twitter have no say in over any of this. And so do you think this is, Gino, I'll ask you this one. Do you think this is a liberal mindset to dissuade or curtail freedom of speech?
I think Elon Musk just want to do something. If you kind of follow his life and his career, he does what he wants, and there's a lot of stuff he thinks without consequences, in my opinion. Yes, he's a genius man. He does stuff to the extreme. He finds the right talent for the right job. SpaceX. I'm a little going abroad. It's like, if you think about SpaceX, what is SpaceX? Same as NASA. Exactly like NASA.
A direct competitor, essentially.
Yes, but why is SpaceX leap years ahead of NASA?
Because private industry can spend more money on things like that without the political consequences.
He put the right guys in there. He even said he put the right talent in there. But now if you look at the history of NASA, they didn't even let black people work in NASA. Black women, they did not let them work there. There's movies made about it. Because NASA, there's still the good old boy club. Look at SpaceX. Look at Tesla.
Gino, you didn't answer my question. We were talking about Twitter and free speech. So I'm curious to know your opinion on
his intentions.
On that.
So that's his mindset. You have to look at what his mindset is. What do you want to do with Twitter? Now it's like the same thing. If you look at, he got SpaceX. They're like, he just want to be a rocket boy. Was that his intention? No. Nobody knew he really wants to go to Mars and then have a colony above Earth's atmosphere. Nobody knew that. Blue Origin. Nobody thought about that. As we see right now, what he's doing with Twitter, yes, he wants free speech. But at the end of the day, what is his goal? What's his blueprint? Nobody knows.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. We all have our own suggestion. He wants free speech, but I think it's more or less he's gonna make it into kind of like an AOL chat room. That's what I'm thinking. A very expensive AOL chat room. That's what I'm thinking. It's because everything he does, there's always a twist to it. If you look at the Boring Company, which if you look at the Hyperloop, there's always something to it. Like it's more than just what he says. Yeah,
All right.
right now he's a majority
let me
owner
chime in.
of Twitter.
Chino, let me chime in. I'm sorry. So I wonder what his intentions are too. You know, he's libertarian, what Whitaker said.
He's everything.
You know, I've heard people mention, you know, maybe he wants Trump back on Twitter, or we don't know what his intentions are. That's what I'm wondering. Like, you know, why would he want to own Twitter? You know, like what's the whole point of that? You know, he's already rich. Is he trying to control something? You know, what is he really up to? When it comes to politics, man, people, there's this whole side thing or whatever, like Bloods and Crips, and this that blue and red. You know, that's kind of coincidence, but no, man, your own personal. You know what's really going on. That's I'm trying to make sense of it. You know, with the whole deal. It's something that he's up to. That's what I think. My bad. You go ahead, Chino. I just wanted to kind of add my little input, but go ahead, man. We got about.
Go ahead, Chino.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, what is his views? To be honest, I think he just like you say, he's a libertarian, but I think there's something bigger. I don't know what direction is, but literally time will see. Yeah, he wants to buy Twitter. He wants to buy Facebook. There's something he's doing afterward. Like it's always like a mystery to what he wants to do. I can't really pinpoint it, but it's the whole free speech.
Okay, Chino, I hear what you're saying. There's always a mystery as to what he wants to do. But at the end of the day, are the things that he wants to do against what you would want? Like, is there anything he's doing, SpaceX, Tesla, solar panels, whatever it is? I mean, are there things that you don't like that he's doing?
In the beginning, yes. There's a lot of stuff in the beginning. Yeah, there's always like the naysayer. There's always the naysayer with Twitter. I don't know where he's going. I don't like the fact that if you give 100% free speech, there's going to be hate speech. And do you want hate speech around? Do you want?
No, he said within the law.
But within the law, but Twitter
is not within the law.
Yeah, but if you make it a private company, you can do whatever you want. You can. It's like having a chat room all by yourself, which you need membership. You can do whatever you want. It's
all right, guys.
Where he wants to go.
We got to move on. All right, so sports question. After defeating Ugas to retain his welterweight title, Spence called out Terence Crawford during a post-fight interview. Will a match between Spence and Crawford be the biggest boxing match of the millennium? Yeah, I know we had some big fights of the millennium. I think it was that Tyson Lennox Lewis fight. It was De La Hoya and Mayweather fight. Mayweather had some pretty big fights. He's probably one of the more popular fights of the millennium.
Mayweather fights are boring. I'll just say that.
What happened?
Mayweather fights are boring. He dances and shook. Dance. Block. Boom. But
I thought,
how many knockouts does Mayweather have?
Early in his career, yes. I think he had like maybe 20-ish.
When he was fighting, when he was fighting wannabes.
Sure, it was over 30. 50 some odd fights.
I think it's probably like high 20s. I'm taking right off the top of my head. I think it's high 20s.
Yeah, early in his career, he was more aggressive. And then later on,
he floats like a bee and stings like a unicorn.
Oh, okay. So with
27. Mayweather has 27 knockout wins.
Oh, I thought it was like towards 30. Okay, so that's a little bit more than half his fights. Oh, yeah, I think with I've been waiting for this fight. I hope it happens. With Spence, he's a very aggressive guy. People don't know his style. Spence is really he likes to attack the body, which is actually kind of rare in fighters to like to body punches, so relentless. But he's very positive. He has good defense, cans or whatever. Crawford is more of like technical fighter. He's a switch fighter. He fights left and right. He looks for openings. He looks for counters. But just a very technical fighter. Both fighters are very skilled and got quick hands. They got a lot of experience. We don't know who's dodging who. We don't know if some people say that Spence may have been dodging Crawford. We don't know, but at the end of the day, Spence called out Crawford. Crawford looks like he embraced it. Now it's up to but this is the fight we need to see. And I think we talked about in other episodes or whatever. If it's dying out, and this fight, I think can bring it back. It's going to be hyped a lot. So I just there's a Fury fight coming up. That's really quite high, probably because they're from a different country. Both Fury fight, but we'll see a good fight. I want to know what guys.
All right. I didn't even know who Crawford or let's see who's fighting. I don't even know who Crawford or Spence is until recently. I mean, it's all about marketing. Did they market themselves well? I'm pretty sure it's going to be a great fight. But outside of the boxing community or outside of sport enthusiasts, I follow sport. I didn't even know who they are until recently. Who is Ugas? I didn't even know who Ugas is until he beat Pacquiao. He was a replacement 10 days before the fight.
Right.
You don't even know who he is. It's like, who's Buster Douglas? If he never beat Tyson, he would never even be in the history book. Who is Buster Douglas? Who is who's
Buster Douglas, the
Lewis?
big kind of overweight guy who happened to throw one great punch at Tyson and knocked him out.
Yeah, who's Usan Rock?
He had a good fight.
But here's the thing. Okay, so at least with this fight, and I agree with you, Chino. I didn't really know these guys too much. But I did after Williams showed us, who that we were going to talk about these guys. I looked at some of their fights and I looked at their records. So these are two guys who have a really good fight to knockout ratio, like 28-22 and 36-28, something like that. Pretty close. And so in theory, this should be a very exciting fight for boxing. Unfortunately, you don't hear a lot of boxing promotion anymore. It's not there like UFC, right?
No, it's the box. At the end of the day, it falls on the promoter. That's what your job is. Your job is to promote the fight to make as big as possible. It's like Mayweather. You want to say Mayweather? Yeah, he's a boring fighter. He is. He ducks. That's what he is. He doesn't take hits, but he promotes the fight. He makes it exciting.
He's his own promoter.
McGregor is a great promoter.
Exactly.
You want to hate the guy, but at the end of the day, he promotes a fight. He makes it exciting.
He knows how to sell.
He sells it. De La Hoya's the same. He sells the fight. He promotes the fight. He might lose, but he still promotes the fight to make it exciting. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting, but does the fighter even have does the fighter even have character? That's where you're gonna get the fight. You have Mike Tyson, You have Lennox Lewis. Even you want to say Tyson Fury. You want to see Wilder. They got personality.
Right.
Where's
And
the
here's
last
the
time
thing.
you've seen an interview with Spence that he's on TV showing his personality? I've not seen it.
On paper, this looks like a super awesome fight, right?
Yeah.
It looks like it should be super, like these are two duke it out kind of guys, the kind of boxing you like to watch because, you know, it should be fun. But I haven't even heard of it.
I don't like, I'm going to be a boxing fan, but I'm not going to say, hey, I'm for this guy. I'm for this guy. I'm for that guy because I don't have a favorite, you know, but it's Crawford or Spence. I don't know. Who am I going to go for? I don't know.
I think we're more familiar with them. I think when the networks get involved, HBO get involved, I think that will help out a lot. It's just I don't like, you know, like you said, they just don't get enough marketing. They don't. And that's how people got to get to know the boxer. You know, these networks and these media don't really put them out there, and they haven't really, in my opinion.
It's not the network's job to promote this.
The network the network just makes sure they have a television slot,
right?
To make sure they can put it in there.
Well,
it's the promoter.
The boxer is getting, you know, the boxer is paying his promoter to do this. So if his promoter's not putting his money where his mouth is, you know, that's on the promoter. That's not on the network.
That's why Crawford is doing his own promoter. He's suing Aaron. You know, he felt that he was racist. He wasn't promoting him. He wasn't getting the price that he wanted. So that's why, because he is suing his promotion company. And then Spence, I don't know how, you know, he's been getting his fights, but, you know, only within the boxing world or who follow boxing know these guys. So, but I just think that's a fight that I want to see. So I think that, like, you know, that show that they, whenever there's a big fight, HBO, I forget the name of that show, but with the boxers, it's a popular show that people, that helps a lot with promotion right there from that show alone, I think. And then again, you know, ESPN doesn't really promote, and it's because Crawford has had his fights on ESPN, but I just feel like they don't really have him enough. They don't really put his stuff on social media. They don't really talk about it. They don't have Big Mouth Stephen A. talking about him. You know, Stephen A. has talked about Mayweather plenty of times. He's talked about who's the other guy, Max Kellerman. He's talked about these. They talked about Mayweather all the time. So yeah, you know, obviously ESPN is a huge sports you know, company. So I just think they just need a little bit more hype. They need to be introduced. Nobody really know who they are.
In the day, it's the hype, man. It's the promoter.
Absolutely.
Are they going to make sure it's fight on paper? It's a great fight. It's the same as the Fury last fight, or Fury. I think Tyson Fury has a fight coming up, but the other guy's a no-show. The other guy, I think it's White.
Yeah, White.
I think is like he's a no-show. He doesn't care. He just want to get the paycheck and call it a day.
Well, I don't know. We'll see when they fight, but I hope that Fury is legit, man. I hope that
All right, Will, when is this fight?
Oh, when is it?
Yeah.
They haven't planned it yet. It's just
yeah,
they haven't planned it.
So it's in the works.
We hope that happens.
Okay.
Yeah, but the Fury fight that's coming up real soon. I'm thinking sometime this month.
I'm putting the full check on Tyson on that one.
Okay, you're going all out.
I'm putting a full check on Tyson Fury on that fight.
It didn't know. Yeah, he played.
So, just curious, did you guys see the airplane video?
Oh yeah, Tyson. TMZ Tyson.
You did not see this?
Oh no, I didn't see the video. I didn't see the video. Y'all heard
okay. So just so you know, some drunk guy is heckling Tyson, right? And Tyson was cool with it at first. Like apparently there was like a a selfie taken with Tyson and this guy prior to getting on the plane, and then they get on the plane, and this guy won't stop heckling Tyson, and some other guy's videoing the whole time, and this guy's like Tyson, blah 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 blah. And at some point, there's a break in the video, so you don't really see what the breaking point is. But Tyson literally gets over the seat and treats this guy like one of those.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Not like a punching bag. It's not like full on.
Oh, no, he did. He stood up and pounded him down.
And then the dude, then there's like another cut in the video, and the dude's clearly got like, I don't know which side, but he's clearly got like 4 or 5 cuts on his head right here. And the guy's still videoing. And the guy who got beat, he's like, I just got beat up by Mike Tyson. It's pretty funny. But, you know, Tyson's going to take some crap for that.
Oh, yeah.
Some assault charge or something. But dang, it's pretty funny.
It's
like,
gonna
why
get
would you
swung.
assault
I mean,
Mike Tyson? Of all people.
That guy has to press charges, though, right?
I don't know that he will, and I don't know that because it's on video, the FAA will probably take over because it's on an airplane. If it had been in the airport, there might have been a different story. But because it's actually on the airplane, the FAA has to take over, and they will probably file assault charges on the guy's behalf. But yeah, I mean, at some point, do you blame? I don't blame Mike Tyson for that. At some point, you got to.
I'm hearing people.
Come on, man.
I'm hearing, you know, like with reading reactions on social media, I'm hearing people actually siding with Tyson. They said that the guy was, you know, heckling him. He was.
I'm siding with Tyson. It was crap.
He threw something at him. He was disturbing him. You know, like.
I'm with Tyson on that one, man. If you everybody has a breaking point. Everybody, it's like I'm on a plane. I'm in my first class seat. Stop bugging me. I already took a picture with you. I talked to you. I shake your hand.
I tried to be chill. Yeah, I tried to be cool, and now you're going all ballistic. Now, you know, back off.
But
at the same time, I'm pretty sure there was something in between the video that cut. The guy maybe like touched Mike Tyson's head or something.
That's
I think so.
He touched
but at the same time, we're all playing Monday Night Quarterback here.
Right.
Mike Tyson could have got a flight attendant and told him, hey, get this guy out of me.
True.
Get this guy out.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a high-profile guy with issues. And also, where's Mike Tyson entourage to take care of this issue?
They weren't there.
Yeah. They were
not in the video. You don't
a guy
see
that travel like that, he always have somebody. They always have somebody.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I agree with you. He could definitely have got a stewardess and said, hey, I need you to take care of this guy's bothering.
Maybe he did.
Move him 4 seats back.
We don't know. But
right. Because that all got cut out of the video. The video
at the end of the day, I still side with Tyson. Like,
right.
Bro, it's Mike Tyson. You take a picture, you shake his hand, call it a day.
I'm not doing that with any fighter. I'm definitely not doing that with Tyson. I'm not doing that with any fighter. If I know you're a professional
Mike,
fighter,
that's it. Done.
I'm not going to mess with you.
Like, you got to know he's got a history of some aggression, right?
Yeah,
no. Just a little. No, I don't know what we're talking about. Shit.
Why would you do that? That was just dumb. Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was something to bring up because
the whole comment I've been reading is all there saying millennial kids, they don't understand like the repercussion of what you do.
Right. You know,
well, that's the repercussion. I mean, what do you expect?
Right.
Like, what do you expect when you poke a bear? What do you expect when you poke you jump in a lion's den? What do you expect? The lion bit me. The lion should be put to sleep. You jump into the habitat. What do you expect?
Unfortunately, the lion bit you, mauled you, and crushed you.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. He gets punished.
Oh, I'm suing the zoo. You jumped in. What do you expect? I think that was one.
Yeah. I agree, Lee. I know exactly what you're saying. I got you.
Yeah. So, hey, guys,
It's like, I'm sorry. It's like, I'm sorry. And Mike Tyson invite me
We
into
gotta
his
end the
hotel
show,
at
man.
3
We
in the
gotta end
morning.
show.
Sorry,
I know I'm not
Snowflake.
getting a Bible study.
When you poked the lion, you got bit. Sorry,
Yeah.
Snowflake.
Hey guys, this is Line of Thought. Check us out. Subscribe with us on YouTube. We're on all Apple Podcasts and all podcasts, whatever you can find on any podcast, Spotify, Amazon. We're on all that stuff. All right. Until then, guys.
All right. Peace out.